Hi, Sarah Banas here, Simply Sarah, Made Easy. Today we're going to make something very neat. So we are going to make sublimation nameplate toppers for cups. So these are all of the rage right now. Incredibly easy to make. A couple of things that I do want to go over first though. So these particular ones that I make, these fit the new Stanleys. So these fit the Stanley Quencher H2.0 40-ounce tumbler. I will link these exact ones in the video description, but this is the newest Stanley. So, and this is what they fit, okay? So let me just show you how it goes on there. Slip it right over that, and it drops right in there, and it fits perfect, and it stays in place. Okay, so that's one of the main problems people are having with the nameplates is they don't fit their particular cups. So you have to just make sure if you're selling these, make sure that you're letting your customers know that these fit the 2.0s, the new Stanleys. So I'm gonna link in the video description these. There's all kinds of different shapes too, and they all fit perfectly. So that's really cute one. This one I love. This is just the basic shape. This is the one we're making today. And then this. And then I think there's a couple others. There's maybe 3 or 4 others. But I'll link all of this. I'll link this and I'll link this specific Stanley that I'm using. Because that's like, it showed you a perfect fit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to work here. This one is one that I made the other day. I will make a video on how to make this design. But this one, we're going to make a different design today. But I'll make a video on how to make this design. And I'll link it in the video description because it was super popular. So, but made that yesterday. So I'll make a different one today. We'll make a different design today. But I'll show you from concept to creation all the way through step by step so that you can upload, make your own template for the shape. And then go ahead and make your own design to personalize. And then print and then press. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's go over to my laptop. Let's get working on the design. Okay, so here we are at my laptop. We are in Silhouette Studio. You can use a different design program if you want. Silhouette Studio is very easy to use. You can get the free version of it. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to move this over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of this. What I have done here is I put the blank on black notebook. Actually, I use where black piece of paper will work. And I took a photo of it and then I uploaded the photo of it. We're going to trace this to get the shape. So let's go ahead and go over here. This is the trace right here. It looks like a butterfly. Click on that. Click select trace area. And then, oops. Click select trace area. And then draw a square around what you're tracing. Everything that is yellow is what is not being traced. And that is what you want. So click trace. And now you can get rid of your original. And now what I want to do is I want to right click. I want to release compound path. I'm going to get rid of this outside piece. I'm going to get rid of any little bits that don't belong. I'm going to get rid of this. And that will give you a general template, okay? So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to redo this circle so that the circle is a perfect circle. And let's see what this is at. So this is at 1.74 to 77. So I'm going to make this 1.76. So I'm going to make a circle and I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to do 1.76. You can see I'm typing it in right here. 1.76. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right about over that. And then I'm going to move it up because I want my placement to be correct on this part here. And I can get rid of this. And now I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to go to my align tool right here, and I'm going to align it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the outside box. I'm going to turn that black. And then I'm going to click on the inside. I'm going to click on the circle. Oops. I'm going to right click and I'm going to send that to the back. And now it'll let me click. Oh, well, it should have. There we go. And now I'm going to select that and I'm going to turn that white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrace the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to my trace panel. Select trace area. I'm going to retrace the whole thing. And I'm going to click trace. And now that is going to give us our template. Okay, so I can get rid of these. Click on that. I'll make that white. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click right here to get rid of that red outline. And now what I want to do is I want to move this over here. And what I want to do now is I want to offset this by just a little bit because I want it to make sure it overlaps the edge by just a tad so that when I press this, it gets the print all the way to the very edge. So right here with the star, with this selected, I'm going to click on the star and then I'm going to click offset. And you can see that that is the offset. I don't need it to be quite that much. I'm going to reduce it down to 0.1, click apply, and now I can move this out of the way. I can actually get rid of this now because this is going to be our new template, okay, with just a little bit of an offset. Now what I want to do, I want to take all of, and just so that you know, I will link everything that I have used here in the video description. This is a beautiful rose clip art set. I'll link that. And actually, I'll link a page where you can get all kinds of different clip art. So that you can make whatever you want. And then I'll link this font. This font is absolutely beautiful. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, if this video is helpful to you, like the video. That helps me out a lot. But also subscribe to my channel. When you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get notification when the new videos come out once or twice a week. Just lots of ways to learn, lots of ways to use not only your machines, Cricut, Silhouette, Sublimation, but also learning how to design for yourself like we're doing here. So make sure you do subscribe. You'll get notification when the new videos come out. I'm going to make these pretty small. I don't want them to be the central focus. I want the central focus to be our name. So I'm going to make those pretty small. I'm going to move this up here. I'm going to duplicate that. And then I'm going to duplicate it again. And now I'm going to take them and I'm going to right click this and I'm going to send that to the back. So that's the back layer and these are the front layer. And then I'm just going to kind of place these around here. Okay. If you need to change the orientation, you can right click and you can flip horizontally or vertically. And then you can use this to move that around. And then you just want to kind of place them on there, kind of just all around. And then some of them you can see have this little like stem at the bottom. You don't want that just sticking out into nowhere. So kind of make those go over the edge if you can. And it's fine that it's overlapping. We're going to take care of that in a minute. Okay, so I think that's good like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to individually slice each one of the edges off. I could do them all at once, but the problem is it's so much information for Silhouette Studio to take in that it can freeze it if you do too many at once. So I'm just going to select one rose, just the ones on the edges are the only ones we need to do. One rose in our template. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to Open Modify panel right here. And I'm going to divide. Okay. And now I can click on the outside part and I can get rid of that. Okay, so one rose in the template, divide. Click on the outside part, get rid of it. You may need to click on this and send it back from time to time. Send it back. You need to make sure you get each and every one of the ones that touch the outside. Okay, so now we have that all done. I'm going to select all of these and oops. You can see that there's some little bits on the outside. You can go back and grab those. Let's see if we have any bits left. It looks like there's still a few. Those aren't going to really harm anything, but I do like to clean those up. Just the main reason for wanting to clean those up is for any sizing issues when you go to size. But that's fine. So that's fine. So I'm going to group all of those. And now what you want to do is you want to take this, move this to the front, and resize it. Not too big. It's just about right like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm then going to, with that selected, I'm going to offset that. And I'm going to change that offset to, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And I'm going to change that offset to white. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off of here. I'm going to release compound path on that, and I'm going to get rid of these because I don't want the inside cuts on that. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, I have to select it. Huh? Okay. And now this. I'm going to group these. And then I'm going to put that right on there. Okay, so that's perfect. So that is all there is to this particular design. Super easy. I will link everything that I used in the video description. I'll link this font is fantastic. I'll link these. I'm actually going to link not just these blue roses, but I will link all kinds of clip art that you can use to build your own ones of these. Let's go ahead. Let's select all of this and group it together. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have measured my blank, and I know this blank is 3.125, but we also added that offset. So what I want to do is I want to decrease this down to 3.2, because that will account for the offset that we added. Oh, you know what? Let me unscale that. So I want to make sure that this lock box is locked while I'm scaling. And bring that down to 3.2. I can do it right on here. 3.2. Okay. So now we're all set to go ahead and print this. I'm going to bring it over here so that it is on our workspace. Close that. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Print. I'm going to click Print. And I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to select my printer, which in this case is the 2800. I'm going to click on Preferences. I am going to go to my paper type, and I'm going to go to Photo Paper, Glossy. I'm going to change my quality. I'm going to click More Settings. I'm going to take that all the way to the highest quality. Okay, and now I'm going to click on More Options up here. And I am going to go to, I'm going to click Off Bidirectional Printing. And I am going to click on, for color correction, I'm going to click Custom. I'm going to click Advanced. I am going to go to Color Controls. And then I'm going to change these. So for these, what I'm going to do is I am going to, for brightness, so for brightness, I have been using 9, contrast, 7, saturation, 15, density, 4. Now, some people will switch this from Epson Vivid. They'll switch it to Adobe RGB. I like the Epson Vivid better, so I'm going to leave it on that. And then I'm going to click OK. Okay, so now we're all set. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn the printer on, and then I'm going to click OK again, and then I'm going to click Print, and we will go ahead and we will get this pressed. Okay, so I went ahead and I printed our design. I'm going to cut it now, and we are going to tape it down and press it. I want to talk to you real quick about the paper that I use. This paper is PYD Life. I'm going to link this in the video description as well. Great sublimation paper, makes a huge difference in your end result. Okay, so I will link that in the video description. I'll link everything just so it's easy for you to find it all. So what we're going to do, if you have a Cricut or Silhouette, you can set this up so it's a print then cut to simplify the process. But what I am going to do is I am going to manually cut this. Let me see what the best way to do this is. I think I'm going to rough cut it first, and then I'm going to come in and cut it more accurately. So, the rough cut, I am going to... Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to get as close up to this without cutting it off as I can. Okay, just straight edges first. The reason that I'm doing this is so that we can get it aligned correctly. On our project. Nice straight lines. You can use a straight cutter if you have one. And then for this, I'm going to kind of rough cut this. The part that's most important is this top rose. That part doesn't matter as much as this top rose, so that we can butt it up against the edge. So that you want to try to get as close as you can. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our blank. What did I do with that? And on one side of this, there is a coating. So this is your sublimation side. See how that's bright white? This is the side you sublimate on. That's the back. And you can see that's all clear. And you're just seeing the white through it. This is all clear. Okay, so then I'm going to peel this back. There is just a clear coating on that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to tape this down to a sheet of butcher paper. And we're going to press it. So let's go to my pressing room and we'll get this pressed. Okay, so this is butcher paper. This is PYD Life butcher paper. I really like it. It comes in like a ream instead of a roll, so super convenient, easy to use. I'm going to fold this in half. I have 2 sheets here. You can also use just regular printer paper if you like. I like this better. But in a pinch, you can use printer paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and again, so this is the back side. We're going to press this right down to this. We're going to line that up how we want it on there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of tape. So let's talk a little bit about tape. So there are only 2 tapes that I will use. I will use the PYD Life blue tape, and I will use the Cricut blue tape. Those are the only 2 tapes that I use. The reason behind that is that a lot of the yellows and golds leave stains, and this does not. Okay, so this is what I recommend. Save yourself the hassle. So let's go ahead and cut that. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Have that on there just right. We want to kind of, let me put some of these to the side. Kind of tack that on there. Something you want to do though, do not, give me just 1 second, let me get this right on here. Make sure you have all of the edges covered. And then make sure I have that even. I think that's, move that down just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good like that. Something you want to avoid is you do not want to get your tape onto here, because when you heat press this acrylic, you can like press the tape down into it. And even though you won't leave a stain with the blue tape, you can end up with an indent. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing it on the edge. All I'm doing is pressing it on the edge. I'm not pressing it over. And I'm only doing that so that I can tack that down, so that when I flip it, it stays in place. Okay, so then just flip it. Get it down like that. Okay. And I see how I'm taping it down to the paper, not to the blank. Tape it down like that. And then just a couple more pieces just to get it good and down. You want to make sure that you are getting all, so you're not like leaving this kind of loose, because you don't want that to pick up and ghost on you when you open your press. So just going to do this and press down. Okay, so now I'm going to close this. And then right now I am heating the press up. I'm heating the press to 358, and we're going to run it for 125 seconds. So let's go over to the press. Okay, so here we are at the press. This is also a PYD Life press. Really, really like this. It's compact, so if you don't have a lot of room, this is a really good press. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you how my sandwich works. So the sandwich I use a pressing pillow. I could go out and get a smaller one, but that would require me going in the other room, so I'm not going to do that. And then I use a Teflon sheet that protects the my pressing pillow. The pressing pillow takes up for any variations in pressure, so that is important. Pressing pillow, and I'll link those in the video description too. They're cheap on Amazon. And then I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to put this over it just to further protect my press and make sure that any ink that escapes does not end up on my press. Okay, so I'm going to try to center that kind of in the middle. And now I'm going to close this. Some pretty medium pressure. You can see that it's counting down. I had it at 120 seconds. I'm sorry, 120, 125. Generally at 125. I usually let it a couple seconds past what it goes off at anyways. So I'm not going to keep you here while this presses, because I do let it cool. Once I pull it off of the press, I let it cool prior to peeling. Just for a second, just so that I don't end up with any ghosting. Just for like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I'm going to wait for this to get done. I'll pull it off the press. I'll let it cool down. We'll meet up at my craft desk. We'll get the print pulled off and see what it looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get this opened up. That is our blank. Just peeled off of here. You know, I'm gonna peel off one side, but I think that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna peel off. Ooh, look how pretty that is. This is the back side. It's gonna be super pretty on the front. But still, so this is the side that we subbed on. And then that's our finished blank. How pretty is that? So then let's grab our, oops. Let's move this up just a little bit so you can have a good view. A little bit more. Put it on the straw and it fits right in there perfectly. Ah, how cute is that? So super easy. So that's how you make them. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask in the video description here. Or ask on Facebook. Make sure you join us on Facebook. I'll link the group in the video description. I'll link everything that we used here. That's it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.